I blame my wife. I now have Baby Shark stuck in my head. All I can think of is Baby Shark, Baby Shark, Baby Shark. So we're back live with some Necro combo. Couple reasons for this, obviously. First one being, after last week's dismal performance of Winona Energy, and I also did a blue-black reanimator off stream, and it did not go well. So we're back to working on what worked before the bannings. Obviously, Underworld Breach was banned. We went 15-5 in the matches we played with this deck. The only really notable matchup that we played more than one of was Boros Energy that we went 3-0 against. Everything else, we played against two different Kettermost variants, played against Kalaris Eldrazi list, played against Demir Dash Shadow and Amulet a couple times. So the strength of this list is it's a combo deck that also can transform into a mid-range deck. The weaknesses is it's not necessarily the fastest combo deck in the world. It's not going to... although, I guess the last time that I played this deck when I was muting myself, basically I forgot to plug in my microphone, we did have a theoretical turn 2 kill in our opening hand, Sorin with, I think, Soul Spike, Nourishing Shoal, Otacron Worm, and I think 2 black sources, and all we needed were 2 black card, or 1 black card, and then 1 was a land, or 1 was an MDFC. We had to use a land. So basically, if we top deck a black card in our first 2 draw steps, we can kill our opponent. They had Thoughtseize, didn't happen, but we did go on to win that match regardless. For those of you who are not familiar with this deck does, it's basically another Necropotence deck, but instead of trying to grind out the game, this one is trying instead to kill with Sorin of House Markov, or veto Thorn of the Dusk Rose and life gain, whether it be your 4 copies of Soul Spike, whether it be Nourishing Shoal with Autothon Worm, however you pronounce this, Autothon Worm. That's your primary method of winning, especially game 1. Sometimes you can get, an anemic beatdown plan of Veto, Bogger, Troller, and Sorin, but more likely you're going to win with a combo in game 1. With sometimes a shout out to Palantir, sometimes just getting opponents who don't understand how this card works. And then the sideboard, you kind of have a semi-transformational plan, Dothy, Voidwalker, and Shouldered, depending on the matchups, to have more of a beatdown plan, and you shave some of the combo elements. And then the one change we did make in this list this week over last time was 2 copies of Culling Ritual over the 2 copies of Meathook Massacre. I just don't think Meathook Massacre is necessarily fast enough, scales fast enough. Because really the 2 matchups you want are any type of Mox Opal matchup and any type of energy variant matchup. Everything else is just kind of there. You have 4 copies of Profane Tutor to find your missing combo piece, whether you're looking for a Necro Dominance, whether you're looking for a Palantir, and then obviously, you try to draw a bunch of cards with Necro Dominance, find a copy of Sauron or Veto, and then the next turn you unload Nourishing Shoal with Autothon Worm, and then use a Thoughtseize or an Inquisition to clear the way. Land-based, 14 lands plus 8 MDFCs. Do have a slight green splash, mainly for sideboard copies of Beseiju and Veil of Summer, in addition to Collector Oof, which we have not had a single... We've had one matchup where it would have been relevant, and it was only after. We played that before we put Collector Oof in, and then Culling Ritual obviously is a new one. Beseiju can be lands 23 and 24 when you're blowing in Shouldereds. Also, split spell card against any type of artifact or ramp strategies such as Eldrazi's. So, that said, do have one thing I got to do. Need to get some event tickets to get rolling, so. And then Because the last poor couple of events we haven't had the best of returns, so fortunately we do need to get some ticks to play in the event tonight. So that said, let's get the ball rolling because these can take a little bit to queue in this friendly leagues. So far, this is the deck I think I've liked the most. Obviously, you can play things like Boros Energy. You can play things like, I know Corey B has had some success. Corey Baumeister's had some success with, success with Urza's Thopter Sword combo, and some other people have duplicated that. What's up, Foz? How you doing? There has been one other person who has been doing reasonably well with this deck, and that is Blazy J. They've had 2 different finishes with this deck. Old shirt, but new to the stream, I guess. He's basically had 2 finishes with it. He or they have stuck to the mono black variant. I mainly splashed the black or green initially for answers to Veil of Summer for counterspell decks and Thoughtseize decks, and then Beseiju to have a little bit more diversity of threats against, or diversity of answers against any type of artifacts or enchantments, which black can sometimes struggle with. Doing alright. We had a little bit of a tire mishap today, so I spent most of my early afternoon putting a spare tire on and going to a local Walmart facility and getting new tires. So, because apparently the treads were too worn, even though the tires were 2 years old. Life, it happens. Other than that, things are going good. I'm not in the hospital, so that's positive. And so the positives with this deck have been pretty solid. I mean, it's struggled against the counterspell decks a fair percentage of the time. Like any combo deck, counterspell plus disruption, usually a pretty good recipe against any type of combo deck. What does this hand do? This hand has 1 land, 2 land. It's turn 4 on the draw with a Fatal Push. Profane Tutor to find either a 3rd land or a Necro Dominance. And 2 vetoes. I think we can potentially do better. This hand is definitely not better, so we are going to 5. And yeah, this hand's fine. We'll put back a Nourishing Shoal and a Necro Dominance. So in game 1, I think you really want to prioritize... Oh, I put back the wrong card. Good job. Looks like we're up against Burn. Yeah. So. I was talking and put back the Necro Dominance, so we might have trickiness on the stack. Okay, so Bump in the Night they can't currently cast. These 2 are kind of annoying. I think we just take the Swizzle Spear and pass. Well, yeah, I know I can easily beat Burn, but it was still... We basically had a very easy... Excuse me? Alright, well, that's a new one. Palantir isn't great, but it is at least something. Alright, so they're going to be able to unload their entire hand into our face. So the fun part about Palantir is if we hit a Autothon Worm now, they are just dead if they I think unfortunately we just have to bite the bullet and block here. Now they bowl our face, put us to 5. Yep. %, sure this means we're dead. Yep, block, go to 2. Alright. Don't think we really make any changes. I guess we can bring in like a couple copies of Shouldered over like a Profane Tutor and a Thoughtseize. So what's new with you, Foz? Yeah, Walmart isn't the best place to get tires, but it is one of the few places that are open on Sunday. So Sunday is definitely not the most convenient day to have a a lot of curveballs the last couple of months in life. I don't know. I mean, yeah, this hand is once again trash. So mulligan. This hand is fine. I think we put back Autothon Worm. Lead with Fatal Push potentially here. We might just use Soul Spike, we'll see. Show me a land. Shouldered's an awesome card, but it may literally just serve here as a pitch card to Soul Spike. Okay, we'll start with a Surveil land. Yes, dear, baby shark. Gee, thanks. My wife has been ornery lately. Alright, basic swamp. So we're going to the end step. Drawing 21 cards. Alright. I think we keep Inquisition, Sorin combo and go from there. This is kind of had. I should add. Oh, baby shark sound? No. Not feeding the monster.
Is that a sound to add baby shark?
I'm guessing. I'm not quite sure.
That'd be awesome.
It'll also get me demonetized.
Not if all you did was
Hard to say. Sometimes they do different things with demonetization. Depends on who's being picky that day. Okay, so my opponent has... Which one of these actually matter? I guess... Lightning Helix is the one that matters most. By Sorin. Pitching that. Three-second clip won't do it. I'll see if maybe I can come up with something next week. Alright, so my opponent now knows what's up, so I assume we'll be seeing some type of whatchamacallit hate coming in here. Trim a veto maybe. from the other song. All right. I'm too young for that song. I thought we established you weren't a whole lot older than me. Yeah, Sand is perfectly fine. Painful, but fine. Curious what one drop they'll have this game. Just suspending Earth Bolt. Alright, let's see what they got. I'm curious what they drew. So now they have Bolt Wave in hand, so I presume it's like Boros Charm or Lightning Helix? Sure. Trigger. Put us to 13. So we can only draw 11 cards here. So I'm thinking, I know, scary thought, me thinking. Could go a couple of different ways here. We could just literally unload our entire hand and basically gain so much life that our opponent can't do anything, and then play Shouldered next turn. Or we could try to set up for the combo with Sorin again. Not sure which is a better line at the moment. Got a Soul Spike. Got a Soul Spike. Now we can either just combo this turn, talk Fair the good old days. Oh, wow. I don't even know what's going on with you two right now. Trying to avoid Baby Shark. So their main card in their hand is, I think, Wooded Foothills. I saw the Steam. Gee, thanks. Alright, so... now if something goes absolutely wrong, we can always... Yes, I can hear you. It's because you're not quiet. Okay, so we just get the combo and kill them. Nice. Okay, gaining 15. Feels like concessions on the stack. That was ages ago. Well, I mean, Foz, you've been around for what, 2018, 2019? I can't remember exactly how far back you go. Don't really take much away, unfortunately, from the burn matchup, because kind of like Royos, when you've got Nourishing Shoal and Autothon Worm, it's really kind of hard to lose to burn consistently. It and Boros have both kind of felt, I don't want to say like automatic wins, but they're pretty favorable. A lot of the tools Boros brings for other combo matchups just don't work particularly well. Like, a lot of people like to bring in, Enchantment Artifact Hate for Necro Dominance and Palantir, and while that's certainly a good, attack plan, the problem is, like, if you rely too much on those hate cards and you water your deck down too much, then you're not applying enough pressure for the life gain elements. That's where I talk about, Shouldered being an alternative win con. That's where I talk about, you can just, like, I have, granted, not very often, where I've won literally just with a flip Sorin, plus to make a blood token, minus to deal 3 damage, plus to make a blood token, minus to deal 3 damage. I mean, you have, like, these slow, clunky other ways to win games. Boggart Trawler beatdowns, Dothy Woodwalker beatdowns in post-board games, Shouldered, being shouldered. So, interesting. I don't suppose the first one was it Burn or Enchantress that I did at some point back and then? Yeah, it was you, Space Marine / Kyle, War Dog, Janshevik, Augie has been around for a bit. There were a number of people. My brother on occasion. So, well, when I first started the channel, I think I was in a different situation, and then that situation finally got dealt with, and then my lovely wife decided to reappear in my life after 17 years? So, it was burn. Shocker. Seems a little bit awkward. We do have Thoughtseize and Fatal Push. Death Shadow or Living End? Possibly Hollow One, I guess. Alright, well, shuffle up and deal. Well, that didn't go well. Don't really want to discard either one of those cards. Discarded 3 lands in our 22 land deck. No, I've had enough parody songs in my life. No, the wife's always here and she's always getting in trouble. One might say it's your specialty. Well, about the only thing we can do currently is Thoughtseize. Why is she trouble when I mess up? Well, we're taking a lot of damage. So we're taking 6. Taking 2. So 8, 10, 11. Wish we could have extorted here, but put you to 1. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Sure. So we're taking 11, 13, so we can draw 7 cards next turn, 6 cards, depending on what they send after Sorin. Alright, so we drew the Soul Spike. All we need to do is draw 2 black cards in our top 8. Alright. So we were on the draw and got hit with a Smooth Criminal. No, we got hit with a turn 1 Magic Roulette, The Gathering. Does Hollow One even have these days? Hollow One. Magebane Lizard, Blood Moon, pick your poison potentially. So I think we bring in 4 Dothy, 1 Shouldered. We're down at least 2 Profane Tutors, 1 Veto, 1 Shoal, 1 Worm. Yeah, I mean, your middle initials could easily be TROUBLE. So we have Palantir. I guess we keep this hand. Don't really like shocking in here, but I think disrupting whatever they've got going on is just too important. No Baby Shark. Baby Shark is trouble. It's like just getting the song Let It Go stuck in your head. Let it go, can't hold it back anymore. I can't sing, I can't sing. Alright, so Goblin Lore sees more cards, but doesn't hit both players, so it's kind of mid overall. Arena of Glory can be a scary card. Did they draw? Okay. Don't think we need a third copy of Bogger Trailer. Thought they would have been a bit more patient with Hollow One, but it's interesting that they pitched Detectives Phoenix here. But what do I know? It's going to get rid of that so they don't have. Sure. Hasty 2/2 does deal less damage. I'm not going to deny that, but opponent's like, we got ourselves a Rita. Definitely don't want that on top of our deck. Deal themselves 1 point of damage. Okay, go to 2. What would the worst case scenario be? Don't think those are worst case scenarios. That one's scary. Okay. It's not great. At least it doesn't have haste. We're dead to bolt. We can't help that. Fizz? Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. I don't know if there's a way out of this right now. Alright, so I can go up to 7. 2, 4. Pretty sure we're still dead. Ah, Veil of Summer. That is certainly a card. Does it change our approach? I don't think so. Yes.
So what theme song would you give Fox?
I don't know. I'll think about it after the match. We lead on this Inquisition them. Faithless Looting, Detectives, Phoenix.
This is kind of fun tonight.
Yeah, usually is when Foz is involved.
That's why I picked the Friends theme song.
Okay, that's... We'd love to see another land here. So I could suspend Profane Tutor, but I think we're more interested in surveilling for a third land. Well, that's kind of freaking annoying. Mm-hmm. So we're going to hit us for 8. So I get to draw 6 cards. Detectives Phoenix is going to add 2 more. I'm just dead on turn 3. Nothing we can do about Russian roulette nonsense. I honestly don't know, Foz, because sometimes you're so thoughtful and enigmatic, and then other times you are very uh, just mysterious. Sounds about right for a broadcast. I love you. Yeah. I don't know. I recall when you and War Dog and Jan and Space Marine would get going. Sometimes you'd like to troll me with some different things. I don't remember all of it, but I do know you like to. You all like to you and Space Marine especially like to stir the pot. Occasionally, War Dog would be in on it too. I can't think of any right now. I'm pretty sure you live in Philly. You used to work in a pharmaceutical something or other. Think you have relatives in Kansas, Nebraska, somewhere out there. And I think you're somewhere in my age group, but I'm not sure. Still work there? Mm. I mean, honestly, the best way to attack this deck, not specifically Hollow One, is just put a ton of power on the board early and have it hasty. I mean, you're getting hit for like 9 whatever damage turn 1, or turn 2. Your Necro Dominances are a lot worse, and your Palantirs are. So the other person that's been working on this deck cut Palantir overall, and I think put in 2 copies of. What is the name of the card? Put in 2 copies of Spoils of the Vault, which you choose a card, reveal top number of cards from your library until you find the name card. Then all the other cards this way are exiled, and you lose 1 life for each exiled card. So basically, Palantir, while at times it's been pretty solid, if the opponent knows how to play against it, it's a lot less impressive as a secondary card engine. The only other one I think is the only other one I think that is remotely comparable is Ketramos, and I just don't know that what this deck does jives enough with Ketramos, because you don't really have any exiling effects. Like, you're not running, like, you know, relics, or you're not running prismatic endings, or things like that. So I don't know that you could slot in Ketramos as the other card draw engine. And I think that is very much a weakness of the deck, is you have to have your namesake card to try to combo. I mean, certainly you can draw Sorin or Veto and a combination of these, but it's a whole lot less likely. So there is certainly some vulnerability to this style of deck. And it's also possible that green is not the best. Like, if you're going to do a splash, it's possible that green isn't the best splash color. Maybe white's better with some of the elements, especially with the printing of what's the name of the card? Come on, some of the decks were running it. Apparently they've either moved away from it or people still have the card yet. Voice of Victory is an interesting card that we'll talk about here in a minute. This hand is awkward as heck. I do think we keep it, but this hand is awkward mana base wise. Amulet again, yay. I think we're just gonna die, unfortunately. Sure. Double Urza Saga. Don't think there's anything that we would want to hold Fatal Push up for. So double prime time we're not beating if they resolve one. So can't take one or the other of those. So next turn they're going to go float a mana from Urza Saga, get a amulet. Then they're going to play either Explore or Spelunking. I think we leave them with the more expensive card, mana-wise. My wife's team did better than both of my teams. See, that is the absolute bullshit scenario. Oh, they just... Oh my. Well, pretty sure we're dead next turn. Is there any situation where I am not dead this turn? See, my opponent, if they understood what was going on, would have been much better to hold on to Boseiju in their hand. But, yeah. Okay. So, do this. Problem here is if our opponent is smart, get rid of that, that. We're just dying to Titan nonsense. Alright, well. As much as I would like to sit and watch the Titan player masturbate, I think we'll just go on to the next game. Daffy Voidwalker's in. Boseiju's in. Fatal Push doesn't do anything in this matchup. Veto on the Soaring because I don't think they're really going to be killing our creatures much. I mainly bring in the Voidwalkers just to give me something to pair with Thoughtseize to kind of disrupt them. We'll keep it, but we could easily die before we do anything. Go. Yeah, you yelled TV plenty this year, too, the few games you watched. Turn 1 Amulet. Shocker. You may put a land card. Perfect. One, two shoals, two worms. Soul Spike with some nonsense. Interesting hand. Or interesting choice, I should say. Explore, sure. The sad part is, I think with that scape shift, we can still die. Sack those two. So that gets rid of both their lands. So you can play Prime Evil Titan, I presume? Nope. Aftermath Analyst. Sure. I mean, it's great you get all this mana, but if you don't have another payoff, does it matter? This is why I hate the amulet lists anymore. Well, technically I was out Philly way once for our honeymoon. Not exactly Philly. We were up in the Poconos. This is the way we masturbate, 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 live on the stream with Amulet. Okay, well, I mean, we did the thing, we Inquisitioned them, and then now they get to I mean, I'm just going to let my opponent sit there and continue to do their thing, I guess, because if they screw up, you know. Cast a Primeval Titan. Sure. It's pretty clear our opponent can kill us from here, so now they have the hasty lands. They just sit here and masterficate for 12 more loops before they finally kill you, but okay. Glad you remember the name of the city we were near, because I certainly didn't remember it. You could have just taken credit for wifely intuition. Yeah, well, occasionally you remember stuff like that. Half expected to hear about a GPS tracker on our car I never knew we had. Alright, so lost a Hollow One, lost to Amulet. Amulet we're 1 and 2 against. I mean, it's really... Amulet's gotten a lot harder to beat consistently with the scape shift lines where you literally saw they had like at different points no lands in play, and then they just continue to combo over and over again. It's possible we should have taken Summoner's Pact, but then 6 just turns around and lets them replay it out of the graveyard. Can't keep this one. It doesn't have any of the combo pieces. Sounds fine. I think we put back Profane Tutor. So. Oh, yay. I don't like blue lands. Blue lands are annoying. Okay. Seriously, that's the best you can do on turn 2? We'll just go ahead and play Sorin here, force them to deal with something. if they have Spell Snare, which it looks like they do. They dash and monkey again. Yep. I have no idea what deck this is. Not Murktide, that's for sure. Murktide would have fetch lands in the deck. Oh, it's like Autothon Worm. What the heck's going on over there? Okay. Counter spell. All right. Opponent's got another playing Ragavan, sure. Put us to 12. And I found a Thoughtseize off our deck. Yay! Well, I mean, our opponent's exiled one copy of Palantir, or one copy of Autothon. We've drawn two. $1 to leave Virgin. Okay. Monkey is monkey does. Bobble. All right. Delta seems like a great card. I have to bottom both those because I can't risk them being dumped in the yard. Other overgrown tomb is gone. They about to play a Murktizzle. Indeed, they are. I think we're beyond the point of that being a relevant draw right now. Okay, Profane Tutor is going to be too slow. Pretty sure we lose here. Don't think our opponent will guess I should have kept the black cards in my hand, huh? That was a pun on my part, I guess. Definitely bringing these in. Definitely bringing the Void Walkers in. Sheoldred's probably come in. Profane Tutors can go out. One Sauron can go out, one Bogger Troller, one Soul Spike, one that, one that. I need to shave one more card. It's 2 vetoes. Sauron, Palantir. I feel like we keep this hand, but it is not the best, that's for sure. Don't know what we're looking for yet, so I'm not going to play the Mortuary. Can't really just jam Sauron with only 2 other quote-unquote combo win cons on the deck. So I'm thinking more and more this hand was a mulligan. But we're not going to win through counter spells right now with, I guess, another Spell Snare. Yep. Sure. Pluto Delta. There are some cards that can counter this, like if they brought in Consign. Nope, just yield Force of Negation. So apparently I was supposed to Thoughtseize first. Bogger Trawler, they can't cast that, fortunately. Counterspell and Ragavan. Flamehold is kind of scary. I think we just pass. No reason to play anything currently. It's not flash, does it? No. Okay, they're gonna bolt us here. Apparently that is indeed the move. I'm gonna try to kill this. Can't imagine they care about it too much. Their hand is Counterspell on one unknown. It's actually a very good card to draw. Surprised that didn't eat a Counterspell. Assume they get Meticulous Archive here. Nope, just Elegant Parlor. It's at least a bolt that wasn't aimed at our face. Hopefully this isn't another frickin' Ragavan. Of course it is. Their last card being a counterspell. Bogger Trawler. It's certainly a card they could play. They're more interested in holding up counterspell. I actually kind of want them to counter this. Okay. Fatal Push would have been one of the cards we would have drawn, so would have well, we wouldn't have drawn Soul Spike, but Fatal Push would have been a card we would have drawn. Yeah, I see. No, not with you guys. I'm just annoyed at losing. Nothing new? Yes, I'm aware. Alright. Lost to Jeskai Murktide, I guess? I mean, technically it's... Alright, one last match. Two Necro Dominances, but no lands. I mean, we keep this one, put back Overgrown Tomb. Lead on the fetch lands, we can fetch their other ground mortuary, suspend Profane Tutor, and kind of go from there. And we have Fatal Push up if we need it in the matchup. So is this, nope, hollow one again? Indeed, a hollow one. Alright, Foz, man, you have a good night. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I will certainly try. Huh. I think I need to wear my red shirt again. Opponent's got two Basking Rewallas. Alright, well. don't need another land. So we could easily take 10 damage this turn. Looks like they have it. Nope, Faithless Leading. Figured it was a Detective Phoenix. And they're Basking Rewalla. Sure. That's going to be a total of 6, 7, 8 damage this turn. With the possibility of who knows how much with this Arena of Glory next turn. Not sure if the internet took a crap or if we're stuck dealing with a nope, looks like it was just a momentary issue with lag. Grab a Necro Dominance. See what's going on over there. Bolt is definitely a problem, so is Phoenix. So can gain 15. Can Soul Spike something else. So we start by doing that. So I'm trying to think. It's currently representing a lot of power, obviously. Burning Inquiries out of their hand. We know they have bolts. I think we get rid of all the lands. And then tutor. So what we're going to need to have happen here We're going to Soul Spike whatever they try to hit with Detectives Phoenix. Sure. Mm-hmm. Three, 6, 9. It's 9 and 6 is 15, so we're not going to get a lot of looks at 3, 6, 9, 15. We're going to 1. Hope our opponent gets greedy. And they're not, so we're dead. So we get to draw 1 card, and it has to be Nourishing Shoal. So for as much luck as we haven't had tonight, that is certainly luck the other direction. Do I even want the Dothies? I don't know that Shoulder does a whole lot. All right, so what am I cutting here? 1, 2, 3. We could just shave these, try to go from there. Yeah, we'll try it. If we get Burning Inquiry, then we get Burning Inquiry. Mako Marauder, sure. Alright, that allows us to deal with a Marauder. God have mercy on your soul. I don't think I want to translate what I thought you said. Yep. Keep that since it's technically less damage than Overgrown Tomb. And thins our deck. Alright, we get to draw 21 cards. Did I sideboard out just out of curiosity? Sorin, a couple Profane Tutors, and a Veto. Alright, so I can consider a pretty good chance that I'm drawing Nourishing Shoal plus Worm here. Yeah, I'll draw multiples. It's Worm. No Soul Spikes, though, that's unfortunate. So get rid of that. Okay. Basking Root Walla. So play out that. Do this. Alright, so 2-3 finish. Hollow one, we are now 2-1 against. So overall, the deck is 17-8, which isn't terrible. I'm sucking on math right now. 17 times 4, 68 win versus 68% win percentage. I mean, I think the biggest problem with the deck is just simply, I mean, Magic obviously is just, you have variance sometimes. Amulets, I don't think a great matchup by any means. It's certainly a deck you could try to swing some ways with a white splash, with something like, or you could try running Torpor Orb. You could also run Doorkeeper Thrall for that matchup. Voice of Victory or whatever it is could certainly be a card for the counterspell matchups. basically, so you're not as reliant on the green splash. I still like the core of the deck, and it still has fun elements, but obviously, losing to fast hollow one draws and mistakes were made in a couple matchups today. I think we would have won game 1 against Jeskai, Murktide, whatever it was, if I'd held on to the lands and hoping to draw Soul Spike, because our opponent could not put the card in the graveyard. So that is the out that I should have played to, in addition to maybe the 4th copy of Autothon Worm. So there were some lines I didn't think out, and it cost us at least one game. I still don't think Calling Ritual is the answer either. I think it's too slow for the fast Hollow One draws. I think it's too slow for the fast Boros draws. Maybe we want something like Cut Down, or if we wanted to go the white splash, Path Exile, Oust, something like that. More I'm thinking, the more I'm wondering if the white splash isn't better because of Voice of Victory / Grand Arbiter, or to help answer the counterspell problem, and then gives us access to a little bit better hate pieces in certain matchups. And we still have access to something like Stony Silence for something like artifact-based decks. So I think there's still some room to innovate with this deck. I mean, it clearly has some issues. Counterspell decks are just tricky, period. Fast combo, if they can win through a single Thoughtseize or Inquisition or a Soul Spike, like Amulet, for instance, is kind of tricky. I don't know that either situation, either the Inquisition, either the Summoner's Pact or the 6, I think the end result would have been the same, because the 6 can just rebuy the Summoner's Pact with Retrace. So, there were some lines that, and then for every time our opponent got fortunate in their top decks, we did something like the 3 out of 40 some cards in our deck or 30 some cards in our deck, whatever it was at that point, the Nourishing Shoal, to use veto and kill our opponent. So for every misfortune, there was some fortune today. Burn's a good matchup. Boros is a good matchup. Amulet and Hollow One feel like close matchups simply because of the clock they put you under, and counterspell decks are just... Counterspell plus pressure is just tricky, period. So it's kind of where I'm at with the deck. I'm not sure really if there's much more room to innovate on it. It might just be what it is. I mean, yes, a 68% win percentage is decent, but there isn't a whole lot of tier. I mean, we have a couple of the Black-White X variants in here. We have like Burn, Hollow One, Amulets, a couple Death Shadows, which are kind of like Murktide, but also a little different. So I don't know that, even despite playing 25 matches, I don't know that I have enough of a matchup spread to really know like how it fares against, Murktide and True Ramp Eldrazi and etc. Boros is the only one I have a pretty good beat on, and I think it's, without Boros knowing how to play the matchup, it's a very easy matchup, but it's not going to remain 100% for all time. Neither is Burn. And that's 5 of our 18 wins. Because this is the matchup spread I'm looking at. Esper Midrange, which was a variant with Ketramos that had Frog in it. Then we played against Orzhov Necro, which also had Ketramos in it. We played against 3 different Boros energies. I lost to Affinity, but this was before the current builds of Affinity and it had a little bit more counter spells. Surprised we beat Mill. Colorless Eldrazi was close. Murktide's losing to it doesn't surprise me. Blue Black Nectro was basically the mirror match with basically it was using Sphinx's tutelage instead of the Autothon Worm. Enchantress, not a relevant deck. Creativity, not really a relevant deck. Do you remember that Death Shadow is kind of a stand-in almost for Murktide, but still fairly similar? Cheap black creatures, Murktide Regent, Thoughtseize, Disruption. Hollow Ones, you saw it twice tonight, but we've played it one other previous time, 2-1. Burn feels like an easy matchup. Twin combo, we got a little bit lucky game 1, and then game 2 we just kind of decimated them with our backup game plan. Garroyos kind of feels like they're doing the same thing we're trying to do, about the same speed, only they're a little bit more moving pieces. Then Amulet Titan, we've had 3 goes at it. 2 times it was 3 games, and then this time we just kind of got whitewashed. So I don't know where to go from here with this deck. So anyways, I want to thank everybody for hanging out. Foz, my wonderful wife, anybody else that's hanging out in chat, that's lurking, that didn't actually chat tonight. I assume, I don't know about next week because we're traveling for Easter weekend, so I do not know if we'll be back in time for a full stream. I will try with all my might to be back, but we will be down visiting my in-laws who are on the other side of the state. So JMO, thanks for the follow. And if I missed anybody else, I apologize, but I'm hoping we will be live next week. So anyways, if you like modern content, especially this Necro Dominance deck right now, don't forget to like,